Hi everyone, it's Coot here. Over the last few weeks I've had so many friends and clients come up to me and say, Coot, I have so many challenges in terms of making a decision. There's so many possibilities and so many opportunities, and in the world we live in, we're inundated with so many different possibilities and things that we could do and directions we could take. And the last few weeks my friends have had so many challenges in this area. What do I do? Do I go here? Do I go here? Do I go out with that person? If I don't do that, why should I go here? Should I take that job? Should I not take that job? And they've had challenges making a clear decision. Have you ever had a challenge in kind of feeling into and knowing what's right, feeling into and making a clear decision in your life? Have you had the experience of kind of being someone that's like really indecisive, not knowing what to do? You take one step forward, you take one step back, you take one step forward. Sometimes you decide, then you go back, and you sit there and you go in your mind for like 4 hours. If I do this, then this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and oh my God, what if I make a mistake? This is life. Ultimately, here's my belief. No matter what you do or don't do or don't do, the bottom line, whatever decision you make, just know that you can't make a wrong decision. Every decision that you make will move you closer, whether it turns out how you wanted it to, whether it doesn't turn out how you wanted it to, whether you fall flat on your face, whether you fail. Every single decision you make will move you closer to who you are, will move you closer to your true destiny, providing that you learn from it. So what's important in making a decision is not being attached to the outcome itself, simply of what happens or what doesn't happen, but really being attached to the learning and the growth that experience is going to take you on. And if you make a decision with that focus on getting as much out of that experience, if you make a decision based on the learning that's available, that decision is going to take you on, no matter what happens, no matter if it turns out how you thought, better than you thought, no matter what happens, you will grow. No matter what happens, you will win, so to speak. You can't lose so long as you're learning. You cannot lose so long as you are learning and growing. And ultimately, in life, sometimes we don't make decisions because we're afraid of making the wrong choice. We're afraid of making mistakes. So, have you ever done the thing where you just sort of stay on the sidelines and you're so cautious, and you stay on the sidelines and you don't really decide anything, and before you know it, all of life passes you by. Life is gone. 1 year ticks away. The second year ticks away. All of a sudden 10 years have gone by and you're still sitting there deciding, what do I do? Just know this. Life is never going to be perfect. You are never going to be perfect. Mistakes in life on one level are simply unavoidable. Ultimately, there are no mistakes, just learning opportunities and opportunities to evolve, to grow, to learn more about yourself in the process. But we were born into a human body. We were born into the three-dimensional realm. We were born into this world not to be perfect personalities, not to be perfect human beings, not because we had all of our stuff together and we knew it all and we were completely, enlightened and evolved and perfect and just had everything down. We were incarnated into this existence, into this world, to learn, to grow, to evolve, to remember who we are, to move through the illusion of who we think we are, and to evolve as souls. And as a part of that journey, everything in the world is really designed for our growth and evolution. As a part of that, we're going to screw up sometimes. We're going to make mistakes sometimes. We're going to, fall flat on our face sometimes. It's unavoidable, completely unavoidable. The more you can make peace with, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to fail, you're going to screw up, you're going to sometimes hurt yourself, you're going to sometimes hurt other people without intending to. It will happen, it's unavoidable. There's no such thing as perfection outside in the 3D. It doesn't exist. When you really accept that, when you really make peace with that, and you focus on the growth, on the learning, all that's left for you to really do is to jump in. Life is messy. Life is, is messy. Full of bliss and full of piss, full of joy, full of sadness, full of heartache, full of ecstasy, full of celebration, full of it all. It contains it all, and there's no way to really avoid some things. And to the degree you are trying to avoid the pain, to the degree you're trying to not make a mistake, is to the degree that you will not be free to fully be yourself, express yourself, and give your gifts fully. Life is messy. When you embrace that, then you realize we're not born to kind of stay clean. It's like that time maybe when you buy a really nice suit and you really try and keep it clean. Well, the goal of life is not necessarily to not get messy. We're born to get messy. I believe if we weren't born to experience, and engage and interact and learn through those interactions and evolve through those interactions, we may as well have stayed in the higher dimensions and just stayed there and just kind of hung out in the heavenly realms and looked down and just observed life. But we're in a human body to love. We're in a human body to love. We're in a human body to experience, to love, to evolve, and ultimately use everything for our growth and our learning. So if you're faced with a decision, just know this. Focus on the growth. Ask yourself these few questions. By making this decision, will I grow? By making this decision, going in this direction, entering this situation, will I grow? Will I evolve? Is there a growth opportunity? Or can I find a growth opportunity given in this situation? That's the first thing. The other thing to ask yourself when you're deciding, do I do it or do I not do it, is if I don't do this thing, if I don't experience this, will I have a regret when I die? Kind of something to ponder. I believe that we should live without any regret, so that when that moment comes where the Great One takes us away, there's not one authentic regret that we have. Keyword is authentic, not superficial, but a real heart, soul, authentic regret. If I don't do this, if I don't experience this, am I compromising my soul? Am I compromising my truth? Am I compromising the depth of who I am? And will I have a regret at the end of my life if I don't do this thing? Will I regret it? I say that's the second thing to ask yourself. The other thing to ask yourself when deciding something is, well, making this decision, we're going in this direction, will it truly serve me? And will it serve all those around me? Will it serve my highest? And will it serve the highest of everyone around? Sometimes we make decisions that really don't serve us. We end up sacrificing ourselves. We end up becoming martyrs, sacrificing ourselves and doing it for someone else. And we all know where that goes. It leads to resentment, leads to pain, leads to anger, and leads to sickness, and leads to an unfulfilled life. Or sometimes we're just making a selfish decision that serves us, but really doesn't serve those around us. And that doesn't really lead to true fulfillment either. So I say ask yourself some of those questions when you make a decision. And no matter what decision you make, go for the growth, go for the learning, go for the love. Use everything and every experience and every road you go down as an opportunity to find out, to reflect, to experience more and more of who you are, so you can become and express more and more of who you are. Because at the end of our lives, whether we decide, whether we don't decide, life is ticking away. Tick, 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 tock. Tick, 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 tock. Whether we do that thing or whether we don't do that thing. Whether we love, whether we don't love. Whether we give our gifts, whether we don't give our gifts. Time waits for no one. It's going now. 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 Life gives no refunds. We can't go at the end of our lives to the Great One and say, Great One, Universe, Great Spirit, I didn't make the decision. I didn't live as fully as possible. Can I get a refund? There are no refunds in life. Use every moment. Decide to use every moment as fully as possible. Lick the plate of life as clean as you can. Clean the buffet of life. Experience each second and go for your growth. Love you lots. Make that choice now.